where he's the one that's not getting the buff ups, but his opponent is.
10 seconds
Okay,
remaining.
so the Pango pick is very good. As I mentioned earlier, if they put the SF in the safe lane, they need a mid that covers for him with this Pangolier, which is, pretty good. And now we have a last pick sniper. This hero,
Okay.
we casted him once. I think it was Liquid playing it with Matu and the sniper. I believe that was a game that they won. And overall, this hero is pretty strong when heroes can't really get on top of you. They have like some Pangolier and Spirit Breaker, but he has a lot of protection like with the sniper here. He has Bristleback in front of him, Earthshaker Fisher, Chen Heals, and more aura. So I can get behind the sniper pick here.
Normally, I would be a little bit skittish about it, given that there is a Spirit Breaker available. They already have like a Pango. But like you mentioned, there's so many things in front of him. And above that, there's also these heals and ways to keep him alive in the midst of these team fights. Even if he gets charged into by the Spirit Breaker, it still feels like he can hold his own. I also like the sniper. I also like the sniper at the end of the draft. And I've soured a bit on the Pangolier hero as well, especially from the mid lane for a while. But we shall see. The question is, do you like the sniper enough to give Wildcard the W here over the side of Infamous Gaming?
I'm gonna go with yes. So I feel like sniper was not the ideal pick because, so from my point of view, when I play the Broodmother, Lycan, Beastmaster, the heroes I want from what I want my mid hero to do is that eventually in the early game he comes to my lane. He helps me to free up, take the enemy tower, but the Brood doesn't really have that. So if Brood doesn't snowball the lane on his own, which may not happen, I feel like it will be hard for him to open up this area because the sniper isn't going to be like, yo, bro, I'm ganking your lane. Sniper's going to be like, yo, dude, stop. I'm going to farm my creeps. Bristleback is going to go farm his creeps. You do your thing. So I'm a little in between, but I would slightly favor Wildcards here.
Personally, as much as I was saying earlier that I've soured on the Pangolier pick, the things you're saying now about the sniper, the issue is it feels a bit greedy on the side of the Wildcard Gaming's draft, and I don't like the lack of magic damage overall, and there's nobody on the team that sets tempo outside of having a very dominant laning phase. And after what we saw earlier between Liquid and VP, I think I'm always going to favor the team that I think will be able to fight more effectively. And in this game, I think that's going to be Infamous. So let's see if it'll be Infamous here in game number 1 or if it'll be Wildcard Gaming taking this W. Let's get into it. The first game at the very bottom of the group. If one of these squads can take a 2-0, especially if it's Wildcard, they set themselves up wonderfully to try and force some tiebreakers later on in the day. They've only enjoyed 1 victory so far. Infamous has enjoyed 2, but I honestly want tiebreakers, so I'm going to root.
We're rooting for the tiebreakers.
I'm rooting for the tiebreakers. No matter what format of the tiebreakers there are, I'm rooting for those. Yeah. So let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, predictions, sir. Quick. We have 50 seconds.
Okay. First barracks kill, Wildcard?
So you think Wildcard wins? No, you thought Infamous wins. I will take Wildcard. Okay. One of us will get it correct.
All right. Total number of Roshan kills 0 to 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 3, I think, this game. But there's some fast Roshes, right? So there could be 4.
I'm gonna say it's a fast game, so I'm going with 0 to 2. I'm gonna say the game ends on second Rosh.
Game ends second Rosh. I've seen some wacky things from both these squads. I'm not as confident as you, so I'll say 3, just 1 plus.
Why don't you go with 5 plus then?
I'm not
the
like
80-minute game.
For some reason, I think even if we go 80 plus, it'll still be just 3 Roshans. I don't know. I have this weird feeling about it.
All right, first player to buy a blink. Luckily they paused, so we get to think a bit more.
So it's either Frank or Alex, right? Probably Alex, actually, because Earthshaker Blink should come sooner. Because Enigma still
unless he trolls you and he buys Arcane Boot Shard first.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Nah, I think it's Earthshaker.
Alex,
time of first tower destruction.
This game has like Enigma and Brood on both teams. It has to be 8 to 11, right?
If the Wildcard's mid hero was a rotating hero, I would have done 5 to 8. But since he's not, I think we're safe with 8 to 11. I feel like Bristle will defend his tower against Enigma, and Pango will help defend the tower against Brood.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. That sounds like it makes sense. Shout out for the pause, Wildcard versus Infamous, to give us time to complete our predictions. We appreciate it.
Lovely.
All right. Now, let's talk about some of these lanes that are going to be breaking down here, right? Bottom, I am completely expecting... They're swapping around a little bit, and they are choosing to put Parker middle. Yeah, Parker's going middle. Leo Star's going to go into the safe lane with the Spirit Breaker to back him up.
Okay. So perhaps they feel like... I have seen this before in pubs where you feel like, okay, my Morphling or Shadow Fiend, whatever, they're gonna go safe lane for 5 minutes until the Brute gets 6, and then we swap it around. But that oftentimes can feel very, very strange. So perhaps they just want the matchup from the start, where Pango just starts laning in this lane, and then the SF can just start doing his thing in mid. I'm personally not fully sure how this matchup goes. The Shadow Fiend versus Sniper. I've seen it in a pub a few days ago. And I'm blanking right now if we saw it in a tournament game or if it was in a pub, because I feel like I watched just a pub where the Sniper obliterated the enemy Shadow Fiend.
That sounds about right, though, right? It feels like SF...
I believe so, too.
Getting off the mark on this hero is not the easiest thing in the world. Like, you scale in strength magnificently, but earlier on, the Sniper... It feels like the Sniper just has no penalty for laning against you. Like, he just sits there and does his thing. There's not much you can do about it.
I feel that potentially the post 4s could have... they're going to be the difference makers in the middle lane. On one side, you have one guy laning with Brood, who... Brood has a lot of HP regen nowadays with the buff to the spin web, and the other hero on the other side, you have, I guess, Mirana's in the off lane with Enigmas. But so whoever lanes with Enigma, right, they can also roam. Should be the easiest task to hit a blind arrow on with a Shadow Fiend in your mid. It's not like he's setting it up for you. But, you know, potentially we could have some moves into the mid lane later, because both these heroes are very susceptible, right? Sniper, SF, no escape, 280 movement speed on Sniper. It's like a little snail. I like the pause screen right now. I like this Mirana mount.
Let's see what this one's up to. Just chilling. With the fully stretched legs. This actually looks like it could be a little figurine, honestly.
Yeah, agreed.
This looks quite nice. Looks very, very nice. Our young Mirana chilling, doing her thing. Michael, like you said, not going to really have the easiest game in the world when it comes to getting good arrows. Well, we say that, but you know there's sometimes these Mirana players that it feels like they have homing arrows, or rather they land more arrows the fewer setups there are in the game. The more setups, then it's like
they're only. It's like eternal envy. You need to lose like 4 racks for him to start playing. Exactly. These guys, they need to play with 0 stuns.
Then you'll watch Michael being like, "All right, guys, I got you." Every single time a gank comes out, he's like, "I've got this planned."
Yeah. Do you need setup? No, bro. Just pick Shadow Fiends. I'll hit every arrow. It's okay.
Eventually, though, to be fair, it's gonna help out when Affliction starts charging across the map with Nether Strike. Then he can set you up a little bit easier down the line. That does start to worry me, though, Kezu. Like, when Affliction does feel more free to move across the map, especially when they have some degree of farm on this Pangolier, will Wildcard be ready at that point in the game to effectively respond to those movements?
It is Earthshaker's job to match the movements, basically. So let's say the Spur Breaker gives any intention or any, you know, like he makes it obvious with his movements, or he's gone for a while from the bottom lane, then Shaker needs to either move mid or have his eyes there. And as soon as Spur Breaker shows charging on the minimap, he has to TP mid instantly and save the Sniper. Yeah. So if Sniper dies this game, at least if he positions himself in an okay way, then it is on the Shaker to protect him.
Shaker, you heard that. You gotta give that protection. And here we go.
Yeah,
game getting started. Bounty runes collected. Unlike what we've had in pretty much every game on stream, Kezu, it's just going to be normal bounty rune trades. Nobody's dead. No first blood. No mid laner getting an early bottle, thank God.
A chill game, yeah. On one thing I need to note is that, remember in the draft where I said that Chen is really good against Enigma in the lane because we get this buff Eidolon? I guess that's a big reason why there's a Mirana in this lane. To arrow this Eidolon. It's like the good old Chen Beastmaster or Eng Beastmaster matchup where, sure, they take that creep and then you go kill it.
Mid lane, alone! Oh my God.
No.
Yeah, Affliction, Axel.
Okay.
He showed up, he got the charge early on. And I really didn't think they had enough damage, but Parker expending all of his mana, all of the raises, they get the kill. Oh well, I take it back about these mid laners not getting the early first blood for early free gold. My bad, that's on me.
Yeah, my bad. I don't even know how long that chase went on for, but that's a pretty funny kill. I did not think this one was gonna, you know, start off this way, but I guess, you know, crazy plays, they do work out sometimes. I'm sure I'm not the only one that was caught by surprise.
I guarantee Alone was very, very surprised by this. Nobody's on his squad probably saw it coming either. People are probably like, wait, what? You're dead? What's happening, bro? Well, that is the kind of kill. We were thinking that Sniper's going to have a very good time middle. I don't think that kill necessarily changes that, but it makes it easier. Fissure actually comes out middle because they're not done. Alex was trying to set up for a kill onto Parker. If Alone was level 3 with the shrapnel charges, we would have a dead Shadow Fiend, but he isn't. So, gets to walk away, heal back up, and resume the farm war in this mid lane.
Looks like the mid lane is the dual lane in this game, or it might turn out to be this way for a while with both supports. Yeah, I mean, as we stated earlier, both these heroes are very susceptible, so it makes a lot of sense for the Force to, you know, at least have their eyes on this lane. Broodmother bottom is... Brood is a very weird hero nowadays in the meta. It's not the same as it used to be with like this, oh, you need your level 6 to be strong in the lane. No, like this hero with the insatiable hunger, he can bully out this Pango later in the lane.
A bully hero in general, this Broodmother is. The four is still just chasing each other around. Even Michael has moved in from the top side of the map to secure a water rune for his squad. Lots of early movements here between Wildcards and Infamous. This is a nice change-up because we've had some static games earlier on from Wildcard in particular. So it's nice to see them that they have moved away from just playing as statically as they were, being a bit more dynamic, trying to apply as much pressure as humanly possible. Because they probably have a feeling of where the maps are good, or where the lanes are good. They're like, well, on those sides of the map, we'll just keep playing aggressively. Funnily enough, in the top lane, now that they scout the Mirana going middle, they immediately take themselves an Eidolon because they know it can't be destroyed one time.
Look at mid lane.
Oh no, Alone is dead. He's so dead.
They are ready for this. Let's see.
Charge, arrow doesn't connect, but there's still 3 heroes around him, and it's a lowly sniper. Affliction will tank up the tier 1 tower. Alone, still alive right now, will eventually fall, but will cost the additional life on the Spirit Breaker as he goes down. Alex shows up, but unable to get the full fissure block onto Parker. Well, you were lying to us, Kezu. It's not a dual lane middle. It's a full try v try in this mid lane right now.
Once again, whatever I say is just not correct. Also, I have to update real quick. The reason I chuckled earlier for a moment is because Affliction ended up in the Dire secret shop and he killed the courier that Eves had parked there, wanting to buy the Ring of Health. So I had to chuckle a bit because I have not seen that in such a long time. So he's just gonna buy it at the Radiant secret shop now, as Spirit Breaker is himself.
What is happening in this game?
I'm a fan of this game.
We love to see it. You know, people often complain that say, well, do games like this have stakes? Given how highly the teams have to play, it's like, who needs stakes? You have good Dota, you have entertainment. Down bottom, Leostar almost died here, being ran down by this hunger of the Broodmother. But now here comes Affliction. Does he have Bash? Yes, he does, and he gets the first hit on it. Leostar is being careful, does find the swashbuckle hit, but doesn't really want to close the gap into the tier 1 tower. This is going to be a fun one here, Kezu. All across the map, nobody's giving any quarter. Everybody's not even poking and prodding. They're just straight up trying to kill each other right now.
Yeah, I think the only one that may not end up dying in like this early game is going to be Eves on the Bristleback. He's going to be a little hard to take down in this game. And my eyes are a little bit on this bot lane once Brood does get level 6. Like even now, we can see just how much he's clicking down this Pango. He wants to dive? No, he will back off before. But once he gets 6, he's just going to start spamming the ult on the Pango. It could be hard for Leostar to maintain this lane.
It feels like if it was any other hero except for the Spirit Breaker as a support there, we would be looking at a dead Pangolier, but Divine Llama able to read the situation that if I dive this, I will end up dying myself. Comes back in time, but Pango, like you mentioned, already muscled out of the lane. We're about to have level 6 on Divine Llama, so that pressure when it comes again will lead to a kill. This bottom lane is not going according to plan whatsoever for the side of Infamous. They made the swap to try and ensure that they could keep the Pango in the Broodmother lane, like you mentioned, but it's not going as they thought. What do you think is the cause of this? Has there been too many rotations from the Spirit Breaker, not giving enough safety to the Pango down bottom?
Yeah, perhaps they needed to body a little more for the Pango in like the early levels, or like take a little bit of harass away from him to help him to get to this level 6 stage a bit better, as we have more trading in the bottom lane.
This time, Divine Llama just wants to make sure that Leostar was as far back as possible. Affliction doesn't get any lucky bashes. And Leostar is not level 6, so Devi, still chilled. Like, whatever, it's cool. Don't really care about this. Just picked up a pair of arcane boots now. These are flown out. Taking quite a bit of damage here. If he gets first hit bash, he's in a lot of trouble here. No bash, though. Axel, Affliction, forgot his bash button at home. Not going to be able to trigger it out just now. Michael, though, gonna die in the river.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a good play by Alex to be around mid. If he was not clutch there with the Fissure, the next raise could have connected on Alone and he would have died, but good turn kill for them. Yeah, Mirana was out of leap charges, so then the Level 2 Shrapnel with Alex running over and wonking his stick at the Mirana. He does get the last hit here.
I must say, the supports on the side of Infamous have done a really great job of allowing Parker to get so far ahead of the sniper right now. He is doing way better than him in the net worth department, about 700 gold plus. And even though naturally, you know, we might imagine that if left to their own devices, Sniper might win this one out, the support on Infamous is like, fam, you're not alone. This is a team game. You got to deal with the squad. And speaking of which, another charge is coming.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's coming. It's coming. Is it going to connect? Nah, they just canceled it. They canceled it.
Not quite. As top lane, gonna have a bit of a tower push and a tower dive as well. At least for now, with Parker being here. It's gonna help defend.
Parker needs to be very careful. Took a little bit of damage from the Harpy Stormcrafter, so definitely needs to get all the way back if he wants a degree of safety in this game. It's such a tense game. It's only 2 kills for either side right now, despite constant aggression by the lineups. It's still not that easy to actually bring these heroes down. Leo Style down bottom now has to be very, very careful because he knows the Llama does have the 6. The army is going to be coming quite soon. So do not allow yourself to ever be in a position where you're low HP again in front of this Broodmother.
Yeah, like right now it's even better for the Brood, and Dalai Lama's doing a good job. It's better for him to keep nuking this Pango, to like force him to bring more regen or force him to go back to base, because it's quite easy for Pango to like kill the spiders and stay in the lane. But if instead of throwing your spell on the creeps, you keep throwing it on the Pango, like he's wearing down his raindrops, he's gonna force him to buy perhaps a salve or go to base, which is very likely what Leostar is gonna end up having to do here.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna stick around next to his little flag creep with the tower region and the flag bear region, but perhaps we should bring the Earthshaker down bottom to try and open up this lane a little bit.
He's playing in a sort of dangerous area right now. He also doesn't have complete vision on the opposing supports on the side of Wildcard Gaming. Careful, careful time. Speaking of supports, top lane, looks like Sam's about to end up losing his life here on the chin. Frank jumping him down, commits the full black hole. Okay, I mean, checking to see if the button works. It certainly does. They get the kill, and now they're going to try and apply pressure on the tower. Very surprised, though, that a position 5 Chen is the one that they commit the first black hole of the game on.
So when you play... It could be about the fact that if you hold Black Hole for Bristle, I feel like he is pretty much unkillable anyhow. Perhaps they didn't need the Black Hole to finish him off, but I think it can be fine because they have this earn charge now with a Vessel coming out in 100 gold if he decides to do so, and then that could be the difference maker. As bottom, Alex, very nice timing on the enchant totem.
He's played his Dota. Also, thank God that they had this Observer Ward in their own triangle. Allows him to defensively get that out even through the nighttime. Good job, Alex. Good job, Alex. But I see what you mean. Like, it might be too much. But now, bottom, we have another charge. Divine Llama. Surrounded by 3 heroes. This time, Leostal has level 6 as well. They follow up with the arrow. This should certainly be enough damage. Nobody is this tanky. Or what? Divine Llama. Are you kidding me? Raindrops, level 8. The Soul Ring being available as well. Gives him enough tank ability to be able to survive throughout all of this. Yes, it's on 80 HP, but who cares? Stayed alive. Didn't get killed.
Yep, and now he's actually healing up on the creep, so nice job by him actually not TPing to the fountain, but rather sticking around, being close to the lane, just abusing the lifesteal here a little bit. And I like Wildcard to do a similar move of what Infamous just tried to do, because they were really close to killing Dalai Lama in this lane. And if at any point Leo Style misses his swashbuckle or he swashes away and then you chase him with the Fisher and the spiders, it's a really big deal to open up this bottom lane for Brood.
Fisher will come, and they're realizing they want to make this move now as well. Swashbuckle is committed, and Leo Style, surely now you're muscled out of this lane. He's flying in. Let's see, is this regen? It's a full wand and some raindrops, but it still doesn't feel like the safest place to be down in this bottom lane anymore, especially now that Divine Llama is going to crack level 9 quite soon. And Leo Style, indeed, is going home. He realizes this is not where I want to be. This kind of sucks. So you've committed all of this space. They're going to be able to take it. Sam will die in the top lane, but they're still no closer to forcing out this tier 1 tower either. So, oh, he's not going to die. Oh, he tanks it. The arrow with one of his creeps. What a player. Good job.
There's a Shadow Blade on SF. Okay, so this is not the first time today that I see this, as Pango TP's back bottom. Maybe this can surprise Dalai Lama. I mean, I'm not going to expect a Shadow Fiend with a Shadow Blade at 10 minutes to gank me, so
All right, let's see. He's got Requiem. He hasn't revealed the Shadow Blade just yet, so they don't know where this is at. He's waiting for the proper angle.
moving.
There's going to be the fear. Throws him out. Swashbuckle comes in as well, but look how far off he gets sent. He got passed straight through the trees, so they couldn't actually chase him, even though they had adequate vision. This is not how you want your first Shadow Fiend rotation with the Shadow Blade to go.
Ideally not, but Leo style. Just gonna stay in the little water. I would high five him right now. High five him, bro. Let's go.
High five, come on, man. You have to admit, Leo Style, that's a pretty cool play from Divine Llama. Using the unpathable territory to dodge Rolling Thunder. Any other hero in that situation is dead, but because you're playing Brood, you get to survive. Pretty nicely done.
Scanning.
Absolutely, indeed. So, okay, here we have a small pause coming out. So, to go back to the Shadow Fiend play, I think if he just gets to position himself on the north of the Brood there and then fears him into the Pango, that's going to be a kill. But either way, game isn't anything too crazy. Only 1k gold lead right now for Wildcard. The Chen is about to finish his mech and getting close to level 6. So I think Wildcard can soon look to like start threatening some of the tier 1 towers.
Chen is also about to crack level 6, like you said, with the full heal. At that point, the only thing that they'll be really waiting for is for Alex to have 6, so they have access to the Echo Slam. Given that they are playing into the Spirit Breaker, into Eidolons as well, it'll always be nice to have some sort of instant disable. They actually might decide to smoke up now that they have the small army as well as the mech complete from Sam. But there's no need to, right, on the side of Wildcard. You're saying you want to see them make that move themselves, but it looks like Divine Llama is way too content in this bottom lane. He's having too much fun just being the bully here. I don't think Ease wants to move away from the top lane either. And like you mentioned in the draft, Sniper, fairly static hero. Guy doesn't move around. What did you mention? He's a snail, basically. So it does feel kind of complicated for them to decide where to go. You know, it's pretty much all on Alex to try and make these kind of moves right now.
Yeah, I think what they can do is you send 1 or 2 heroes bottom to help Divine Llama to take this tower if he feels like he needs it. Or you just send the Chen mid with Sniper and they like hit the mid tower a little bit and then maybe that forces the Pango away from bottom so that he can take the tower. Either way, the pace of the game is okay for both teams, but I think soon for Wildcard they're at a strong enough territory where if you go to a tower and Infamous respond to come and fight you, it should turn out good for you. You have too many heals, you have max shrapnel, you have a high level Fisher and a super tanky Bristleback as bottom.
Bottom though, Nilsal. He has the Rolling Thunder, so shouldn't be in any real danger here. Just enjoying life, trying to destroy as many of these creeps and these spiders as possible. We'll be able to take out a fair amount of them and should be able to escape without any issue either. Although, as I say that, he's being flanked on the side here by Alex, who's making his way down to the side of the map. I'm not sure if he scouted that the Swashbuckle was just used, but Leo Style, knowing that he just used the spell, he's going to be the one to try and back off. But no, he turns, he brings in reinforcements. Shadow Fiend is coming for round number 2, but he might have been scouted. They've got some spiders behind the tower.
Yeah.
So they should know that this is available as a gank rotation.
Well, they will not die to this one. I think the spiders under the tower from Divine Llama, they did spot the TP, they placed a sentry just to make sure that that's going to be fine. So yeah, I really think that this bot tower needs to fall soon. I think Infamous are getting a little too much on the map. They open up the top tower, they're chilling kind of everywhere. I like where Affliction is, like we see him smoked up. He plays 2 very deep wards because he knows, yeah, this sniper, he doesn't want to do anything. So if he's just going to want to hit creeps, maybe we should try to kill him.
Wait for that opportunity to be able to bring him down. They do finally get the tier 1 tower in this bottom lane, but like you mentioned, Infamous got there first, so they've established themselves in more corners of the map. They've also got this very intriguing ward here behind the tier 2 tower in middle, where they're pretty much scouting all the places that the average sniper would find himself farming. It's quite nice. They have a good read on this game. Now the only thing is getting the necessary farm and then stringing together a couple of engagements so they can make use of these wards and not just have them for posterity's sake.
So Divine Llama has an Orchid queued up, which I think is good. When you play against, usually the way it works is that the heroes that counter Brood, well at least most of them in terms of the spiders, they do it with spells early on. There's very few that do it with right click, such as Sven. But Pango, he relies on Swashbuckle to deal with spiders, so if you go for the Orchid, you can either kill him alone or disrupt him in the fight or take over some areas of the map. So I'm okay with the switch up on that. That's top lane. Mr. Alex is gonna fall to Mr. Parker.
Alex happily dies on that one. The enchant totem that he threw out actually stunned Parker while he was invis. And once he revealed himself, they do sound the retreat. They get the bristle back out of there. Eves knows he doesn't want to be a part of that fight. Although now Sam, awkward place. I think he's going to die. Nether Strike will come out. They have the Sentry Ward vision now placed out, so he could see the Shadow Fiend coming towards him. But unfortunately, couldn't really do too much about it. Gets taken down. That is going to be his life forfeit. And do they want to get more out of this, though? Eves is going to try and stop this from happening. They prevent the escape on Affliction. Alone can't even trigger out the Assassinate, as Eves is the one that kills him. I even sort of forgot that there was a sniper in this game. He's just been super, super quiet, trying his best since the laning phase was broken down to just avoid being seen, because it's normally been his death knell up until this point.
It's definitely true, but as bottom, yeah, there's the Orchid reveal on Pango, and
nice.
He actually does score a kill. As top lane, something similar going on.
Yeah, Black Hole being committed onto Eves this time around with the follow-up of the Requiem of Souls from Parker. That'll ensure that they have the net requisite damage. Parker goes up onto the high ground with the Tumbler's Toy. Alex drops a very nice fissure, connecting onto both Frank and Parker. If he doesn't get off that fissure, he presumably dies there, but because he does, only Eves is going to be the casualty. So both safe laners end up dying, even though technically Leostyle might be playing in the safe lane, but not actually that high priority as a core hero. But the great kill on the Bristleback and a much better usage of the Black Hole this time around.
Yeah. And to go back to the Earthshaker, he is not buying a Blink Dagger, so it might rip your prediction.
God,
he's going for the Arcanes into Shard. He has the Max Fisher. I'm just trying to think of how they're playing, and I guess it does make sense. It looks like they're playing on a lot more like defensive style with high range. Let the Brood Mother go in, throw in like 2 spells with Brood and Orchid or Shrapnel, and then just Fisher on top instead of going in too deep with their Earthshaker. If they were playing more aggressive, I think the Blink would make more sense, but so far with what they're doing, it's absolutely fine. That Frank here is very nice try.
That was a very good try. Whirlwind into the fissure combo. Had that been able to connect, it would have been pretty cool, but unfortunately, it does not. They're going to smoke up off the back of this, though. I think they might have just barely been scouted on this. SF might be aware that this is coming. They still have their prior high ground ward positioned there. But instead of actually going for the gank, they're going to try and sneak away this Aegis. Eves has the Aghanim Scepter already available on the Bristleback. And they're bringing the whole team over. Yep, they're just going for this one.
They did spot that this entire thing is happening as Sniper popped the Shrapnel in ward vision.
Alright, there's going to be a big swashbuckle. Rolling Thunder coming in from Leostyle. Nice fissure from Alex to prevent the approach. The arrow, though, connect onto Alex himself, so he's stunned up pretty much forever. He's certainly going to end up dying. Eves got feared back. Wasn't able to start running away from the team fight. Will still get hit with the Spirit Vessel, so can't regen while he's retreating, but should still be allowed to escape. At the same time, Alone might not be so lucky. Eves coming in and out of the fight, hoping to maybe catch somebody on the back line of things, as Alone has gone down. Here comes Divine Llama. Divine Llama trying to go in. In the meantime, Parker finished off the Roshan, picked up the Aegis all by himself, thanking Wildcard Gaming for the work they did to soften up the big man. And great move, great read of the game coming in from Infamous. They didn't have access to the Black Hole. They had access to the Moonlight and the Requiem, and they deem it enough, and they somehow end up taking a fight. But it's not over. Mid lane, we see actually Alex utilizing his Aghanim Shard, almost able to get these kills. Echo Slam will help them to kill Michael, but he will still lose his life to Parker. Eves coming in right now. Doesn't really want to fight into a hero with 2 lives. So even though he had a couple of snot charges out on Parker, decides against the pursuit. And finally, this fight will end here, Kezu. Multiple heroes end up falling for Wildcard Gaming, but more importantly, they give up the Aegis of the Immortal.
Yeah, that was very big for Infamous. So, a couple things. First off, Pangolier loves a Roshan fight. The role is like so strong in that area. Similar with like a Charge and Requiem of Soul. It's like you have everything to like bounce around off. They also had a high ground ward that spotted all of this happening. And I think for Wildcard, you were kind of skipping some steps right now. Like Davai Lama is so strong. He keeps occupying the bottom area, killing people there. You kind of want to take the mid tower first and then involve your Brood in a Roche fight if you do ever decide to take one. It has to be a bit more precise, but good job by Infamous to capitalize on that. They see it, they go there, great spell usage, and even without the Black Hole, they get to not only win the fight, but claim themselves the first Aegis of the game.
Yeah. Y'all have already put my predictions in shambles, so I would implore you, please, only 2 more Roshans at this point in time. Unfortunately, the Blink from Frank is going to be coming very, very soon. He's finished the Wraith Pact as well as the Spirit Vessel. And like you mentioned, now that he has access to the Black Hole, it's pretty much Infamous that can dictate terms on what they want to do on the map. Parker not far away from being able to fly in a BKB as well. And then at that point, they can decide exactly where they want to go. And Wildcard Gaming aren't just yet at the point where they feel strong enough that they can fight through the Aegis. So I think they have to play as far back as humanly possible. And there's the smoke. Who's the target here, Kizu? Who do you want to see them go on?
I think ideally just aiming. So for now, what they're going to do is aiming into the top woods to, I think, take them over and then perhaps pressure the tier 2. So whoever they run into is going to be a good target, especially with Parker having completed the Silver Edge. Even Eves can die. But hello, Sam, you will do. And the entire army. Yep, we shall claim you as well.
In a way, that's actually even better than getting another kill, right? You clear out this army, it's a lot of gold, and now they can secure the top tier 2, take the outpost as well. Infamous. It feels like they flipped the switch and suddenly now they're playing that perfect from ahead textbook Dota, allowing Parker to just posture for very far forward, soaking up all the attention. And once they get this tier 2, it's very great when you get a tier 2 before the team that has the Broodmother is able to pick up theirs, right? But a fight, breaking bottom. Yeah, they got the Moonlight Shadow out. It's an Echo Slam that goes back onto the Pango, but they haven't been able to get this kill. Michael got stunned up with the arrow. And then they are able to bring down both the Vile Llama and Alex. Spider gone, Earthshaker gone, 2 heroes immediately. And this was Wildcard Gaming knowing that the fight was coming. They got the Orchid Silence out onto the Pango. They thought they could maybe kill him, but turns out they were very, very wrong about that, Kezi.
Look at Marana. He has the Philosopher's Stone. He has an Axe at 20 minutes. It's not too bad. Yeah, he dished out quite some damage in the last fight. And I gotta say, if I'm a wildcard player right now, I'm not feeling too great about this game. Because I would feel like that my timing is out the window. Where Bristleback has been in 1 kill. We had a lot of good timings, but now it's all just gonna be infamous. They have a Fat Shadow Fiend, a Pango roll with a Yules, Rave Pact, Black Hole, Vessel. They have everything they need here. Leo style, TP's in, tanks everything. He has to use to protect himself. Shield crush. Now look at this arrow. Brood basically just died to Marana alone.
So much damage, actually. I was wondering where there's so much damage. I didn't think it was Marana, I can tell you that, but with the early Aghanim Scepter, it certainly is the case. And now, speaking of the Ags, it misses the chin as it connects onto an Alpha Wolf, but my god, Parker with the crit from the Silver Edge, able to instantly eliminate this Chen hero. A little bit low on the HP though. It's an Assassinate, but there's no way anybody on Wildcard Gaming feels confident enough to actually dive atop him. And thankfully the Wraith Pact is down too from Frank to make it even more difficult to do so. And they're not stopping. They're already charging all across the map, making sure that all the lanes are being pushed in, making sure that Wildcard Gaming is just losing real estate on every corner of this map right now.
So with the state of the game, if I'm Wildcard, what do they need to do? I feel like they kind of rely on Infamous making a mistake or forcing Infamous to make one, because as it is now, Infamous have better team fight. They have a super strong Shadow Fiend, but if all you do is split push side lanes, you're doing this against a Moonlight Shadow from Marana and a Spirit Breaker. So this is like 2 of the best supports you could ask for when you're ahead in the game to like shut down the map. So this is not an easy task for Wildcard at all.
Speaking of Wildcard, bottom, they're looking for a kill onto Michael, but Divine Llama might have gone too far forward. He knows he can get Black Hold, and indeed that's what's going to happen. The arrow will end up getting blocked by the Spiderlings, but it's not going to matter. Thanks to the Spirit Vessel, still going to end up dying. And they were thinking about bringing in some support heroes here. Alex will find a fissure. Affliction did not end up cancelling his charge in time, so he's going to end up being sacrificed to the Alone Sniper. Well, that is something. I guess you'll take it. And they smoke up immediately. Are they going to really try to reach all the way to the outpost to catch Parker off of this?
It looks like it, but he has... Even if they catch him, there's a high chance for him to just BKB TP out. Oh my god, look at him. Okay.
Oh, no.
They scanned him now. Alright. Pretty crazy play.
No way is that. Alone had a very good read of that situation. Will now throw in the Assassinate. Alex able to find out the fissure. Hurricane back onto Parker. It goes BKB Requiem, but that wasted a little bit of time on the BKB. But it's still the 9-seconder, so happy to just get himself out of trouble there.
Yeah, I mean, Wildcard should be happy with that. They picked up a gem now on Sam to try and deward this area. They got the first usage of the SFBKB was completely passive, so that's definitely a win for them. Now, 6k gold lead. They did also finish this Ags on Broodmother, which is... it's quite obnoxious to play into. Like, suddenly, these areas you run into, your charge may get stopped, people are gonna get rooted. Sam in some trouble.
Sam is in a lot of trouble here. He's going to find himself nether struck. Right click down. The all heal actually is going to end up saving him. And now Eve's showing up to the fight with a new minted BKB. So they have to run away from him. Affliction trying to get himself out of the situation. Slowed down to an absolute crawl. And they will be able to get the kill onto the Affliction Spirit Breaker. I thought he'd escaped actually going to the western side. But trying to charge to the east. Gets killed for his efforts. And Wildcard Gaming slowly but surely here. So they're getting a little bit of a silver lining on one side, a little bit of a silver lining elsewhere. It's not enough necessarily to change the status quo, but these small little things add up in the grand scheme of things.
For sure. They need a loan to keep scaling. I'm not quite sure yet what this next item is going to be. I think eventually in this game you need to kind of play with... To be fair, if you want to feel really safe, you need a lot of items. You need Lincolns against the SB charge. You probably want to have a BKB at some point against the Pango roll. So I feel like going one of the defensive items like a BKB into pure damage is something that he may have to look at. As these roots, like look at these bin webs, they're very annoying to play into right now. Another one.
They're just everywhere. Assassinate going out. Hurricane onto Parker, forced to pop his secondary BKB in a defensive posture. The rolling boulder forward for Leo Style doesn't allow him to actually catch up to Sam. Sam will now end up being charged up. Alex buys enough space with the fissure. And now it's Affliction that finds himself overextended. Great stuff being done, but the arrow from Michael with the Aghanim Scepter connects onto Sam and kills him on the backlines. How much damage does this do? It's so crazy, honestly.
I mean, it's Legolas right here. I just started rewatching Lord of the Rings a few days ago. This guy, Michael, is not too bad on this hero.
Michael Legolas. Where's Legolas from again?
Radiant's
You mean like in the movies or what?
Yeah, like in the lore. I used to be like a huge Lord of the Rings nerd back in the day.
He's an elf. That's all I will tell you. I don't know the rest.
We'll look at this again. Look at Sammy. Sammy is almost dead here. Forces Leo Style to overcommit for this chase.
Where's the arrow
That fissure
coming
was
from?
amazing. So here, let's see it again. My goodness! Literally 70% HP to nothing. Wow, okay.
That's probably
By
like a
one
good 800 damage, I assume. That was like a max range arrow, which is like 500 into the double star storm. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Seems fair and balanced to me. Yet again, seeing no problems. These little webs from the Broodmother creating some problems on the map, making it difficult for Infamous to move exactly as they want. Primarily creating problems for the Spirit Breaker though. He's really had a tough time. Since that axe came out, he hasn't done all that much, but the Echo Slam in the top lane, Parker, not really gonna get caught by this because he Hurricane Impact himself out of trouble. Ease at least picks up the Gem of True Sight, but Alone finds a black hole onto the sniper. Alone is alone, and Frank will be able to kill him. That is two heroes gone in the blink of an eye. They do save the gem, but they can't save the life of the sniper. That was such a sick play coming in from Parker. That Hurricane Pike, allowing him to dodge the Echo and immediately get off the BKB, turn things around, makes it much more difficult for Wildcard to approach that fight.
The Pike was pretty clutch, and also for Sniper, he doesn't just need a Lincoln's or a BKB, he needs a Blink as well as Michael this time around, in a lot of trouble.
No. He's fine for now. Ease can't really get the full chase out. I think Wildcard are just content to ensure that they can't get themselves into a Roshan pit on the side of Infamous. Yeah. They want to stop that from happening. They want to be the ones who steal it this time around.
One thing that is coming together for Wildcard right now is that their long-range poke is very annoying, right? You have the Fissure with the shard into the totem, and then all these spin webs. It's actually very annoying to fight in specific areas. And Bristleback, even though they're behind, he is still very tanky. So if Wildcard can find ways for Alone to stay alive or for them to make space that he can get hits off, then their lineup is still very strong in this game. Half HP on the Rosh, 20%.
Falling very, very low. Can they get the stop on this? They cannot. Alone will end up getting the Aegis. Leo Style coming in with the Rolling Thunder. Trying to at least get some revenge off the back of this, but he has to be careful about his positioning. Does quite a bit of damage over onto Alex. All of them will end up dodging this arrow, but he TPs out to safety. He's seen what can happen if you're nearby these heroes inside the dire jungle without any kind of protection, so he knows to get out ASAP. But like you mentioned, they have a really great way to still be able to take Rosh. And this time around, they don't have the luxury of being able to just jump inside the Roshan pit even without Black Hole. There's too many spinner snares available. So just any kind of movement in this area, just too hard. We even saw that they tried to first kill the Vailama before they go into the pit. But sadly for them, Roshan bashed XL again, preventing him from being able to jump on the spider.
Yeah, it's I'm just trying to envision how the next fights want to be played out by both teams, as Geosai is taking like half HP just by running into one of these snares. So yeah, this root axe is definitely proving to be very annoying for them to deal with. The root against Morana, against Spirit Breaker to cancel the charge, against Pango, and SF too. SF is the type of hero where if you poke like 1 or 2 spells at him, it makes you very uncomfortable. Suddenly you lose like 40% HP. Now perhaps you're too greedy on your BKB, you get fissured from long range into a totem, and suddenly the sniper can kill you. So it's starting to cause a little more problem with the things that are happening for the Wildcards draft.
Wildcard certainly in a very good state on the map, and they are doing a phenomenal job as well of just dodging all of these fights. Haven't necessarily seen Infamous jump the full team of Wildcard in quite a while. Despite the fact that Wildcard Gaming do not have, like, they're so far behind in kills. They're 4k gold behind in net worth. Still though, look where they're playing down bottom. They're the ones aggressively shoving in the lane on top of tier 3 tower. They're the ones claiming outposts, forcing Infamous to respond to them and play their game style. And the thing is, they know for a fact that they can't necessarily do the same due to the threat of this Broodmother back on the dire side of the map. Feels good for Wildcard here. So if you're Infamous, despite the fact that they were in this okay looking position not that long ago, now they've given up this Aegis. Do you want to take a fight, or do you think they should just farm until the Aegis was gone and then try re-engage thereafter?
I think right now Infamous are okay to give up a little bit of the map. I think they understand that Wildcard are very strong, so unless you force them out of position or unless they step up too far, then you should let them be. Because for now, I think if your Pango can keep scaling in this game, which he's doing a good job of, perhaps he is able to claim another damage item. Same with the Morana, he's still scaling very well. He has the Ags Yules, he's getting a lot of gold with the Ags and the arrows. This is going to turn into some game where later you might have some Dagons flying around, because what's important for Infamous is that when they commit to a fight, they need to kill heroes. Like when they commit Black Hole and or roll, heroes need to die. That's why another damage item on Pango can be good, perhaps a Dagon E-Blade later on the bottom. And it's okay for them to, you know, slow it down a bit right now.
I think it looks like Wildcard Gaming have a similar recognition to you, because they're just starting to tank up on all of their core heroes. They've already got access to BKB for this Bristleback. It's going into the Basher next. You see that the Sniper opting to go for the Eye of Skadi after finishing off the Mjolnir.
Sammy boy.
More tank ability. Sammy? Is Sammy dead? Yeah, Sammy's dead. No, Sammy's not. Using the creeps yet again to block the Sacred Arrow. So now if Sammy does die, I'll be very happy about it, because it'll force them to overcommit for this. Sam has been really, really good with microing these creeps around him in sort of a protective shell and just tanking so many arrows in this game.
Agreed. It's kind of a psycho move to click the outpost against SB, but it turns out that it was a pretty good play. Makes a lot of space for his team. And now they just go back bottom since they saw all of the enemy heroes show on the map, and half the tier 3 tower is gone. Frank?
Oh no! Frank went BKB, was going for the Black Hole, but misses out on the timing. They end up getting away on all of these heroes. So Eves is fine. Now they can just go right back to sieging on the tier 3 tower. We've already seen how difficult it is for Infamous to approach these large-scale fights when they lack access to this Black Hole. And now they're not even fighting near the Roshan pit for maximum effectiveness of the Pangolier roll either. And nor do they even have said roll available, Kezu. How on earth do they defend this without these key spells available?
Yeah, so they're definitely going to have to wait for the roll for now. Perhaps you can try to squeeze in a Swashbuckle at some point. If Wildcard stay for too long, this could still be very dangerous for them. Even without Infamous not having Black Hole, the Aegis is expiring in 15 seconds.
What will they do in the next 15 seconds? Assassinate, thrown out towards the Shadow Fiend, and Eves was quite far forward. They actually got quite a bit of damage out onto the Enigma, but here comes the Pangolier.
5 seconds.
Rolling Thunder hasn't connected just yet on the Sniper. Sniper, Aegis about to expire. 3, 2, 1, it's gone! And so is Alone, taken out in tandem with the Aegis. He's dead. Pangolier ends up finishing off Alex. Eves trying to TP out to safety. The lack of bashers will allow it to happen. But these two heroes, you just mentioned it, if they stick around for too long, they can get punished. And they punish him at the perfect time. Infamous hold the high ground, save the range racks, and more importantly, end up killing the Alone Sniper.
5,000 damage on Pango in that fight with the Aghanims, the AoE damage from Shield Crash, with the, you know, random swashbuckles coming out from him. It's we'll see it here again. So they kind of overplay a bit in the fight. With Aegis, it's 20 seconds, and I really like the initiation. So here, they're just poking a bit, you know, baiting them to stay in the area, and then later you'll see the roll. They start on the sniper, but then they leave him because they know, okay, soon the Aegis will be gone as we go live.
Yeah, we'll go back live for a little bit of a skirmish happening close to the tier 2 tower. It's not going to end up being a kill, although Eves did come close to being in an awkward place. He did need some healing from the Chen. They just want the tier 2 tower, then they want to get out. Echo Slam committed by Alex. Frank, though, not dead just yet. Eves is going to be the one that dies instead. Divine Llama also in danger as Leo Style doing the most amount of work in these fights. This Rolling Thunder has just been a menace for Wildcard Gaming. Michael also contributed a ton of damage with his own arrow. 3 heroes gone, and now suddenly they've lost the tier 2, and because these 3 heroes are dead, they're going to charge for the tier 3 tower on the high ground. They were charging heads up for Alone. They force out the double buyback, and not just any buybacks here, Kids. Core heroes returning to the fray. Assassination will kill Axel, but Affliction doesn't mind. What the hell ever. 5 position Spirit Breaker, dying in exchange for 2 core buybacks? You'll take that any day of the week.
Oh, you'll take that your whole life. If this is what happens to me, ooh. My man, this is great for them. Like if we look now, what kind of happened is that Wildcard cannot fight without the sniper, as he's going aggressively onto Leo style, but he should be a-okay. Like sure, you have like a Bristleback and a Broodmother, but they're kind of all designed to make space and keep people in place and show heroes so that sniper can hit them. Without sniper, they're not dealing any damage. They won't be killing anyone. They need to play around this key hero.
Yep. Alone is the win condition at this point. Without him performing, without him dishing out the hurt, Infamous really feel confident in themselves. I mean, if we look at their heroes, they have everything they need to survive against everybody else, right? Full Satanic available for the Shadow Fiend. This Pangolier just picked up a Basher as well, so that's a little bit of bonus strength, but it's mostly the Ags and the Ag Shard, allowing him to stay very safe in these team fights. And then, of course, BKB, Spirit Vessel with the Wraith Pact available for Infamous. Now they're going to pop the Moonlight. Very underrated spell. You know, sometimes we all forget how to play against Moonlight Shadow. I'm glad that lately it's been played a lot more so that people can just plant sentries and be prepared. But Wildcard have been taken advantage of in this game by the spell. This time they are positioned a little bit better to deal with this. But what's their next move for the side of Wildcard? Like, they need the sniper to get a lot bigger, but what if he dies here? Especially since he's being charged in the top lane. Sniper, you have BKB, but I'm not sure it's going to help you. The Nether Strike will make him dodge the arrow. Bash will come out. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. He just wants to leave here. Then no Bash. Oh, the Bash comes in from the Pangolier Swashbuckle. Cancels the TP. Now suddenly there's no BKB anymore. He does still have the Blink Dagger, but here comes the charge. They want him come hell or high water. Alex cancels the charge with the Fissure. So they're still keeping the Alone Sniper alive. Somehow, some way, Wildcard Gaming did... No one dies! Somehow!
That's actually crazy. Some nice defensive spells by Alone. He grenades himself away with a shard, then barely gets the blink off before the Requiem clips him. And to go back to your question, what is the next move for Wildcard? I think that the third Roche, that's gonna be the fight that they have to take. And they need to take it in a way where, again, the win condition for them is to allow Alone to hit. He needs to get right clicks off. Spam as many buybacks as possible. Unlucky for them, they already used 2 in their defense earlier. So hopefully Sammy Boy, maybe even the Shaker or Alone himself can save buyback to win this next fight and then claim Aegis for their sniper.
Alone certainly needs to have that Aegis so he can feel a lot less fragile. What kind of sucks as well about the state of the game that they're in for Wildcard is that they need to save buyback on Alone. Having expended the buybacks on the Broodmother and the Bristleback earlier, and having Alone as your win con means that he can't even start building up into this Eye of Skadi. He needs this money. If he dies without buyback, the game feels like it just ends immediately.
Yeah, and also Infamous, they should be aware. They're going to play around the Roche. They won't give it up for free. They're in a very commanding lead, 15,000 gold lead. I also like that we've been seeing it more and more on these Shadow Fiends in the late game. They start queuing up the Arcane Blink. Even if you're playing the right-click SF, it just makes your Requiem pop so much faster, which is really, really deadly in these later stages team fights.
Speaking of things that are quite deadly, Mirana, with the Aghanim Scepter, proving herself to be deadly towards the Chen army, has whittled it down pretty substantially. They keep trying to de-push this wave using said Chen army, but you can't, because Michael just here spamming out these arrows, keeping the lane equilibrium favorable for them. At the same time, they've smoked up several heroes on the other side, and now they've also committed the Moonlight. They're going for a fight. Look at the wraparound coming in from Axel. They catch the Fissure onto the Shadow Fiend inside the Roshan pit, but I'm not sure if they've seen these heroes coming in towards them. Rolling Thunder coming in from the Pangolier. Leo style really wants alone. They want the sniper. They get the bash onto him, but he's too far away on the low ground, so they're going to let him go and try to flee away from this. Axel looks like he's going to be the one that dies yet again. Blink Requiem though, coming in from Parker. He blows up alone, and here's the Blink Black Hole onto the other two core heroes. They've already gotten Divine Armor. Eves has to suffer now the indignity of being surrounded by all these infamous heroes. They throw an arrow on the other side of the fight, trying to kill Sammy, but Sammy does manage to get out. Alone has brought back. He wants to try and salvage things. He wants to try and save Eves. Eves has been kept away from the rest of the team by a Fissure, but the Nether Strike ensures that he dies regardless. Alone right now gets arrowed by Michael from downtown, and that's going to be a dieback on the sniper. Wildcard Gaming threw everything at that fight, but now there's nothing left. They've lost everybody, and now they're also about to lose the third and all-important Roshan as well. Kezu, it's all gone south for Wildcard Gaming, and none of their cores can buy back either.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really nice fight from Infamous. Like, we can see here, he dealt 9,000 damage on Essen in this fight. I even forgot. So when you get the 25 talent, your raises apply your attack damage. So the Arcane Blink is not only good for the Requiem, but it makes it so much easier to also hit all these raises in succession, which deals so much damage.
We got to see that again. We got to see that again. We're going to see what Arcane Blink can do for you in terms of cost per introduction. Look how quickly that Requiem comes out. Just immediate, practically. They find these kills. Amazing Black Hole as well onto the only heroes that matter. Eves cannot really do much about this. This Leo style bash, I must say, since he's picked it up, it's been a game changer for the squad. And from here on out, Infamous are pretty much going to cruise themselves to victory. Whilst we were watching this replay, I'm going to see Eves as well as Alone dying. Can't believe this dieback happened. This arrow from Michael. Just, who needs setup, man? Who needs setup?
Yeah, I told you.
Every time they've tried to set him up, it comes harder.
Some of these guys, they just work better when the game is not easy.
Wow. On that, you know when Wildcard Gaming was busy pushing on that low ground and they took them everything in their power just to get a tier 3 tower? Almost without blinking, Infamous have claimed 2 lanes of racks. They're about to get megas. And yeah, you're about to get the sniper back in play, but Leo style making enough space at the back that Wildcard can't even really punish this on the retreat for Infamous.
They really can't. They might have to pop Refresher since he got flipped by the good old spinner snare from Blue.
Look at Parker. Parker's going in. Parker's waiting for a chance. He's looking for an opening. He sees this Rolling Thunder from Leo style, and here goes Parker. He gets out the raises, gets out the Requiem, gets out his BKB, and he kills Alone right in front of his own Ancient. 80 seconds in the grave, no sniper available, and now it's Eves and Divine Llama trying to do their best. Silver Edge though disabled Eves' defensive prowess. He's gonna end up dead. The last Black Hole of the game will kill Divine Llama, and that will just be that. GG, well played has been called. Alex can't even get a consolation kill, Kezu. Infamous. They flip the switch, they find that additional gear, and they end up taking this game directly to Wildcard and winning it out in bombastic fashion at the end of it.
Honestly, not bad. The game was a lot more entertaining than I first, anticipated. And also, the Shadow Fiend, just to talk about one of that combos, not the first time this guy is playing Shadow Fiend with an Arcane Blink, gets off the Requiem into the triple raise with a Hurricane Pike fall.